Hello and welcome to Share Talk. I am Matt Brown. I'm joined today by Merlin Marr-Johnson, the CEO of Erris Resources. Now, Erris have floated on the AIM market today. So first off, Merlin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you just explain to our Share Talk viewers what Erris Resources is as a business, where you operate, and hopefully how you make your money?
Sure. Erris Resources is a new exploration company with a European focus. We've got zinc projects in Ireland and a portfolio of gold projects in Sweden. We are backed by industry partners. We've got at the corporate level, we've got a relationship with the Cisco Gold Royalties, and in Sweden we've got a relationship with Sentara Gold, a Canadian mining company, mid-tier company. So we've got these two industry partners. We've got this focus on exploration to create value for shareholders through discovery, and over the course of next year, we've got a lot of activity, which hopefully will generate the news flow that will get the share price going.
Fantastic. And obviously with the IPO, you raised capital.
Yeah.
What do you expect to do with the funds that you've raised?
We've raised £4 million at 25 pence, and the majority of that funding will go into Ireland, exploring the zinc prospects in the Abitown project. We're up in the northwest of Ireland, near the town of Sligo, and there's an old mine there. There's an old lead zinc mine that was explored and exploited for many, many centuries by the monks. In fact, the town is called, the mine is called Abitown, and they were picking out lead and silver from there. And it was mechanized in the 1950s, and it's really barely been explored since the 1980s. And all of the exploration focus in Ireland has been on the Midlands trend, on the main and zinc deposits. And Erris Resources identified the potential at Abitown, and so we'll be drilling that. And we've got drilling starting in Q1, both near the old mine and also on a series of very exciting prospects up to 15, 16 kilometres away from the old mine. So we've got a kind of a district scale play that will be drilling out an initial 5,000 metres over that area in the first 6 months, and then results dependent, we've got phase 2 drilling planned for after that.
And you're not the first explorer of zinc in Ireland. There are other explorers already in existence. What makes Erris different?
What makes us different? In a sense, we've got two companies in one. So the capital's going into Ireland, and we've got the Irish Zinc projects. But parallel to this, we've also got this extraordinary portfolio in Sweden, which is fully funded by Sentara. So in a sense, it's a de-risked value proposition. You get two companies for the price of one. But coming back to the Irish projects, what makes this different there is that, well, for a start, we're in an area that's been completely overlooked in terms of exploration. The last mineral company that owned the licenses over the 16 kilometres was Chevron in 1986 in the east, and Billiton in 1983 in the west.
Two big names.
Of our district. And since then, there's been very little exploration done. Well, there's been no exploration done in that area. It's all been done on the Irish, on the main Midlands trend. We've got exactly the same age rocks and the same style of mineralisation. And what's particularly interesting for us is that it's shallow. So it starts at surface and goes down to a maximum depth of about 250, maybe 300 metres. And this is in contrast to the most recent reserves that were delineated over at Tara, which are down at 1.1 kilometres underground. So immediate cost advantages of being shallow, quicker exploration time, shorter drill holes, everything's much more easy, much simpler.
And just going back to the gold assets in Sweden, Sentara Mining is probably a name investors will be aware of. Can you just talk us through how that relationship works? And also, I mean, you mentioned being fully funded and backed by Sentara Mining. So how is that relationship set up, and how can that benefit Erris Resources as a company?
Our relationship in Sweden with Sentara is a strategic alliance. We presented a series of targets and the concept of finding the next generation of mines in Sweden to Sentara, and they have backed our technical proposal, our team, and also the prospect, the potential in the geology up there. There are several large and good grade gold deposits and polymetallic projects there. So we've got an area of interest which is just under 66,000 square kilometres, within which we operate with Sentara. They fund us $250,000 per annum just doing generative exploration, working up ideas, target ranking, staking new areas, and advancing work on the areas that we've already got some of the licenses. On top of that, Sentara can elect to earn into a project. They can designate a project area and they can elect and earn into that. They spend $1 million to earn 51%. And they can take it on, and if they spend $3 million, they will earn 70%. And last year, they elected 2 projects and funded the generative exploration. So they put in $1 million across the portfolio, 400,000 as the first kind of part of the $1 million on each project. And this year, they'll be doing the second half of each of those 2 projects. So they'll be funding $1.45 million in the Swedish portfolio, which means they will have multiple drill programs. All of this not funded by the Erris shareholders, so the money is free to go into Ireland, but also it creates the opportunity for discovery in Sweden. And there's a third project that we are very keen on, and Erris has allocated some funds to drill that, and we've got a plan to drill that in the summer. So we've got drilling in Q1, drilling program in Q2, third drilling program coming in the summer, and that's just in Sweden. And then separate to that, in parallel to that, we've got ongoing drilling from Q1 in Ireland.
And that's basically the roadmap for 2018. Is there anything else further out that investors can expect? I mean, it's obviously going to keep you very, very busy, and there'll be lots of news flow, but is there anything else that you'd like to highlight?
We will be busy. We've got a lot of work, a lot of drilling programs, so that'll be news flow in terms of starting programs and results coming out of that. We always maintain a watching brief on the area. We are keen on picking up new assets and new targets. We're generating ideas, and that's really where you create value for your shareholders, is you take a geological concept and at very low cost you can work it up the value curve and get it to the point where either you want to develop it yourself or you want to bring in a partner to joint venture it or fund into it. So we've got a watching brief where we're ranking targets in favourable areas in low-risk jurisdictions in Europe.
Fantastic. Well, again, congratulations for floating on the AIM. Sounds like it's already been a busy 2017, but a very exciting 2018 ahead of you. Merlin Marr-Johnson of Erris Resources, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.